situation make you a good leader or not? Actually, when I look at this, I was so happy. I say, really, situation can make you a good leader or not? Then tell me what kind of situation is favorable to me. Then I can be a good leader, right? I don't need to study all your leadership chapters. Now, so what is good situation? Because I want to know, what are the good situations that I want to be in. In other words, once I look for a job, I want to look at this kind of situation. If the job provide me these situations, I will be a good leader anyway, right? So he went in and say, now this is what I call the least preference coworker, which one they are task concern or leadership concerns. So what he mean by good or favorable situation, including these three elements. One is leader-member relationships. That means if you are a leader, you have a good member, a good relationship with your member, that is favorable situation. Second, the job itself. The job itself is structure. Structure means that well designed. If the job is not well designed, then you have to discuss how to do it. That is unfavorable situation because the more you're going to discuss, the more difficult you may encounter. And the last thing is talking about position. Does the position, the job itself, give you a lot of power? If yes, to three items, that means this is a favorable situation. So all you need is not to make any mistake. You will naturally be a good leader. So these are the favorable situations. Now, but the interesting part about this model is, well, this is favorable situations. But in the real world, will we be able to find these situations all the time? Is it possible that we will have all these favorable situations in our job? If not, what should we do? Right? This is even more critical because now we know situation make you a good leader, but this situation does not exist all the time. So if I'm in a very bad situation, what should I do? Here, he came out with these suggestions. Now, don't worry about it. Actually, I will write out a simple diagram for you. You just look at it. You understand the concept is important. You don't have to draw it like him, so details. Now, what is it? What he's trying to say is, actually, this is a much more better diagram. Here, sorry, online student, I cannot show it to you because the camera is not working well. So let's say on this side is concerned about people. And on the, let me draw it a little better. A better understanding. So we say that in any situation, we need to consider two types of situation, right? One is concern about the task. Here is concern about the people. So we have a line here. And on one side is you are in a favorable situations. On the other hand, you may be in a unfavorable situations. So what should you do? He make it quite clear. He say, let's do it this way. So let's say if you are in a very favorable situation, what should you concern? He say, concern just get the job done. Why? People already like you. They know that you are a good leader. So you don't need to worry about your relationship anymore because you have a good relationship. In that case, why don't you just concentrate on getting the job done well? Because if you get the job done well, your member will like you even better in the future, right? Because you are a good leader, you get the job done. So if you are in a favorable situation, just concern about getting the job done. Well, what about if you are in a very unfavorable situations? In other words, all the three factors are unfavorable to you. What should you do? Fielder said, also, only concerned about the job done. Why? Because people don't like you anyway. No matter what you're going to do, they just hate you. So, it's no, don't bother to repair the relationship. Instead, just focusing on getting the job done. Because if you get the job done, hopefully next time, the follower will change their opinion about you. Okay, then you say, what about the situation is not very favorable or very unfavorable to us? What should we do? Now, that is how he come out with this. If your situation is sometimes favorable or unfavorable, then people will make a lot of difference. So you have to concern about people. In other words, is in extreme situation, whether they like you or not, don't worry about it. Just get the job done. But if you are in a borderline situations, people will make a lot of difference whether you are going to be success or not. Now think of it. When I learn these models, I'm just learning, and I find out actually it's quite true with my working experience. Yes, and actually in a lot of situations, when the situation is good for you, just do your best. If it is unfavorable to you, they all hate you. What can you do? You're gonna quit the job? No, if you still need a job, just face it and just focus on the job. But if your situation is borderline case, people may help you or may break you. This is what we consider like the gray areas, right? That if people helping you, that makes a lot of difference and make it successful. Okay, now so Fielder's model is looking at what? Situations. Now next one is Harris one. Now, Harris one is also looking at situation, but his focus is on readiness. Now, what is readiness? Means that um, leader, what you're supposed to behave, very much depends on how your followers are they ready or what they expected. Concept is again very simple. If you understand it, look at the diagram. Don't get so complicated. You understand it, you'll know. Now, again, here, the model here is relationship behavior means concern about people, right? On the other hand, is task. Again, this line is concern about getting the job done. So he said, which leadership style you're going to use really depends on the readiness of your worker. So what is ready? Let's say, if your worker is new, joining the company, he don't know anything. So what you're going to need to do? You just need to start here. Start here means what? Low on the relationships, but high on the task, right? So what's that mean? That means that if they are new, they don't know anything, they probably would like to have more guidance from you. So they would like you to tell them more about the job. Is that true? You don't need to concern about relationship as much yet. Right now, you need to know what are the job required to do. So you would like the leader to give more telling, right? Telling me what to do, telling me what are the instructions. Now, but if the workers getting to know the job, next stage you may want to do selling. Selling means what? You still concerned about the job, but you also want to give him confidence. Selling, means that giving him confidence that he has the ability to do the job itself. So you have to concern about behavior, right? Care about the people. Now, what happens if these workers start working and having more confidence and know the job well? Then the third stage is, yeah, you do need to still concern about the behavior. This time the behavior is not giving him confidence, but involve him in decision making, right? So because involve him participating in decision making is one of the way that you care about the workers, right? Now, well, what happened if the worker they have been working for there for a long time, well know about the job, and willing to participate? Then the last stage is what we call delegating. Delegating means that I am giving you the free hand to do whatever you want to, and I don't need to worry so much about you. So we're saying that access to my team now, so I don't need to worry anything. Now, so this model is focusing on what? Not the situation only, but the readiness of the follower. Now, it is true, I would say not a necessary leader, for any new worker who are very young and green, then you need to give them more, telling, more instructions. As the student is the same thing, right? You don't know the subject, you like the teacher to give you you more information. Once you know the subject, you like to do your own projects, right? And you like to have a little bit more flexibility and learn the way you want to. So this time is based on the readiness. Let's look at the last one. Here is just giving you the detailed explanations. The last one is called path goal theory. I like the name. Path goal means that the road to the objective. So what is a good leader? A good leader means that leader, you make my road to success very smoothly, then you are a good leader. But if you make my road to success very difficult, then you are not a good leader. Now, so what are the path goal involved? In other words, what are the roads that will create bumpy environment or a smooth environment? Here are, look at the diagram again. All right. Now, in the diagram, this is a complicated, a complete diagram, but we only need to look at is leadership behavior. Now, of course, we cannot ignore the other two. So, in other words, leadership behavior, the environment, and the subordinate, the worker himself, will affect his performance, right? Now, we are not going to talk about environment because we know, we already mentioned about is the organization structure will affect. We also know that the worker himself, because if you have a very good leader, but you have a lousy subordinate, it's not going to have outstanding performance. So these are necessary, factor. But now we want to focus on the leader's behavior. So what kind of leader behavior will make the workers feel like working there is, happy? They enjoy, doing what the boss wants. Basically say, leader, you need to have more than just one behavior, care for the worker. Because what do you mean by care? So he said, a good leader means that you have at least 4 different kind of behavior. Now, what are the 4? One is directive. That means if your worker don't know what to do, give them more direction. Supportive means that sometimes the job itself may have a lot of stress and difficulties. You cannot just say that I'm the boss, I'll do it for you. No, you are not, because you are manager. You're supposed to manage it. So what can you do? At least mentally support them, understand their need. So in other words, support is that do whatever you can to help him to get the job, mentally or we say physically. Like giving them the necessary equipment. Hopefully, you set up a good system to support them. The third one is participative. That means if your worker, your follower, have some good idea, include him in the decision making. Why? They will be very happy, right? Yeah, the boss will listen to what I said. And also, if you are successful, the decision come out positive, they can also enjoy the reward or the benefit, right? Because when the decision was positive, they make money, they will be proud of it. Oh, I have the decisions. I contribute to the decision. Now it works. So they will get the satisfaction. The last one is achievement oriented. That means if you know the worker is competent, good, give them some more challenging job. So he got a chance to show off his ability. If he got a chance to show off the ability, what will happen? He got a chance to promotion, right? Because if you can imagine, if you have a lot more talent, but the boss is not giving you any difficult job or challenging job, you'll never get a chance to show off, and you'll never get a chance to get promotion, right? Now, so I find that these 4 things are also very practical. Anytime when you are dealing with someone, you don't just tell yourself what kind of style. You will look at they are the follower. If they need help, I'll help them. If mentally they have problem or they need support, we'll try to support them. If they have good idea, involve them. If they are very, capable, giving them chance to show they have the ability. So we say that is a good leader. It is true. I use the same concept with my students, right? That, if students, don't need more direction, give me more suggestions. Supportive, sometimes we do need it. If they are good, one or two questions is very difficult, and that differentiate whether you are an A student. Well, if all the questions are so easy, everybody got, the same grade, you don't find that you are outstanding, right? All right, now, so I think I finished all the leadership model in here. But one more last suggestions I'd like to talk about. Here I will put down the descriptions, what each the leaderships mean. The very end, just a suggestions for you. A lot of people like to be a charismatic leaderships, right? Charming. In order to do that, what can you do? I mean, in order to be a good leader, a charismatic leader, what can you do? You don't have to be born beautiful. You don't have to be entertaining. But several things will make you charming in any situation. Is whenever you're going to do, whatever you're going to say, think of the others, not yourself. Not that what you like, and you think of is what the follower. That is one of the very critical part about being a leader is focus on the other, not yourself. Now, second, you have to be actively go out and reach people, any situations. When I was under training, my professor told me, he said that in order to be good in management, if this is your degree you want and this is the career you want, he said train yourself that you can walk up to anybody and be able to talk to them or carry a conversations. I know that this is not easy, especially for a lot of Hong Kong people, right? They're saying that, yeah, well, like I mentioned, Hong Kong people don't even say good morning to their parents. You don't even like to talk to strangers. So if you're a good leader, that is something that you are different from the others. One more, you need to improve your communication skills. Yes, I would really saying that survive in the societies, communication skills is very important. Dealing with people, handling situation, that is very critical. All right, now, so that's all I have for you for this chapter. And any questions on this? Any? Again, no? Okay, good. We just wait until the examinations. Well, in that case, then I will start working with you people on the group projects. Now, let me remind you one more time, your project outline. Make sure that the title of the group project include the company. Also, I was surprised that some of you send me the project outline without your lecture group team numbers in the paper itself. Because after I print it out, that paper on my hand, I have no idea who is it from. So make sure you are very clear with your document. I mean, I would assume that you will put it there already. So look at the project outline. Now, area for investigation or type of management issues means that after you analyze the whole company, what did you find? Is the company good, not very good, or they have something problem that you like to make comment? So it is it's important to want you to analyze this company. Now, not all companies are bad, so you have to think, if you think that the company is doing well, you ask yourself, what did they do well? What do you think they are doing it correctly? All right. Now, next week is the deadline. So, if you are going to hand it to me by email with communicate with me by Microsoft Team, make sure you are doing it 2 days before because yours is Monday class. Don't send me anything in the middle of the night and Sunday night. I am not going to read it. And I think that I am entitled for a weekend holiday, right? So I don't expect you to submit anything on the Sunday or Saturday, and don't expect me, to read your documents, because your class is on Monday. So submit it to me by Friday, all right? You have the whole semester to work on it. At least give me a little time. Otherwise, difficult for me to give you feedback because I do have to think of it and see what it is. Okay, now, so let's start it. Let's look at team one. Okay, can we talk to you later on? Okay, all right. Since you are here, it's easier to discuss, and we can continue talking as long as you want. All right, team two. Team two, are you there? Team two?
Yes.
Okay, what is the company name?
Giordano.
Giordano, okay. Any issues or anything you want to talk to me about your project?
Yeah, I showed you the problem last time, but I'm wondering, what should I mention a lot of problem, or focus on one or two problems is fine.
Yeah, right. Because your topic is go global.
Yes.
So I only want to look at is how they go global. Are they doing it well or not? Or do you have any suggestions on how to improve it? Now, when they go global, you can look at going to one country different from the others. You can do that one by one.
Yeah, I can do like China, South Korea, and East, like this, or
right.
focus on. And the solution I give that, should I mention all the country, or the focus on the one?
Depends. If you're going to analyze each country differently, then you comment it differently. But if you're saying that Giordano's way of going global, they use one way and all countries the same, then you can comment it of one suggestions.
Okay, because they have a different strategy on different countries. So.
Well, if that is the case, then it is better for you to evaluate each one of them.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yes, thank you.
All right, team three, Sarah. Oh, is it yours? Can I talk to you later on? Okay. All right. Team four.
Hello, Wai.
Muji.
Yes, hello. Are you hearing me? Sorry, hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry. We are finding some ways to talk to it. I find you last week that I told you I use the cultural differences to be our topic, and then I find some difficulties of the company that is a good way for them to doing business in Hong Kong, but not the bad way. We change the position.
I don't understand what you're saying.
That means we try to find a good way of the company doing business in Hong Kong.
You don't have to. You don't have to, but you have to tell me the way they do business in Hong Kong. Look at lecture 3. Are they going to be like outsourcing, importing, and all those? That is going to do business in Hong Kong. You can also touch on the cultural factors.